I'd take away from the husband.
These women gotta stick together.
So, welcome, thanks for coming. My name is Jim Henderson. I put this together along with my other salespeople and the general manager of our office to educate you. Hopefully we educate you well enough that you trust us enough to come out and inspect your home, because we do this, we're salespeople. But we want you to trust us and know who we are. The Villages is tough because you can't door knock, you can't door hang. So how do I get to you?
Word of mouth.
Doing like who we are. Doing a presentation like this, people feel more comfortable. You don't feel like you're getting. We don't believe in hard sells. You know, that salespeople push. We don't play that game. We want you to think about it. We want you to make an educated decision, and also know what you're getting. If you look up here, as far as who we are, that's our website. Established in 1993, done over 10,000 roofs. You can look us up. We're in all 50 states, residential and commercial. There's all our locations. I know you can't read those names, but that's just showing you we're everywhere. We're not Joe sits back in a pickup truck. We're a big company. We stand behind our warranties and our work. There's a Florida license. If a lot of times, how do you know when you let somebody on your property you can trust them? How do you know? You don't know me from Adam. I could be up here, I could be the biggest con man on the planet. So how do I prove to you I'm not? Well, number one, making sure you check people's license. How do you know the people on your roof are insured? Our employees, our roofers, our crews are on our payroll. They are employees of the company, protected under the workman's comp insurance. How do you know the people up there are? We can show it to you. These people are on your property, these people are on our insurance. You know, if you let somebody on your property and on your roof and they fall off your roof and they're not properly insured, guess who they're suing? You. How do you protect yourself? So, always be sure. While we're here, you have to replace your roof, the steps involved, what we do. You had bad experience before, contractors. I know people who target seniors. That's what brought me back here to the Villages, is because I know a lot of you guys are victimized by bad contractors. Doesn't make you foolish people, just means somebody really conned you. So how do you protect yourself from that? Inside that folder, there's a thing in there about the seniors versus crime. I stopped over in Sumter County, that's that green sheet of paper. That is step one. There's another sheet in there that has all the websites that you can go on and post bad reviews about the company. Now, I did have some folks here tell me a story where they still didn't get their money back. But at least you did due diligence as far as other people who go at that company and see that, hey, these people didn't take care of they didn't take care of this. That's Sumter County. Huh?
Blue.
Oh, blue. You do know that men and women see colors differently.
That's a conversation for another day.
The memory colorblind.
Uh-oh, off the track. The train has left the track. I'm gonna get in trouble. Why replace your roof? Huh? Steps and bobs, schedule and inspections. We come out, we take pictures, we show you what we find. Review the findings with you. We haven't yet. I know a lot of you have heard assignment of benefits. Everyone's like, oh, don't ever sign one of those. In the hands of a ethical contractor, it's just another piece of paper to help us do our job. In an unethical contractor's hands, you can be taken advantage of. Because assignment of benefits is you're giving us the right to speak to your insurance company on your behalf. What we promise you is we will never say anything to them that you don't already know. If we see something that's not on your insurance claim, if it's an insurance claim. If there's something that's not on there, we will tell you they're missing these things, and we're going to contact them and have them add this to your claim so that we get paid correctly. Not that we're trying to shyster the insurance company. A lot of people think, because it's not explained to them the process. You know, there'll be like, Florida law says you have to put a nail every 6 inches on decking. Some insurance companies have it on there, some try to sneak it past us. If we don't catch it, we don't catch it. We catch it. And that's just to make sure we get paid correctly. But we won't contact that insurance company without saying, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, we're going to contact the insurance company because these are things we found that are not on there. We're going to have them add it so we can get paid correctly. Is that okay? Yes, sir.
Well, on time and benefits, then, I understand it gives you permission to talk to the insurance company, but is it also when the insurance company they pay directly to the homeowner?
We haven't gotten the check. The check always goes to the homeowner. Am I wrong, Marie, on that?
Do I?
Doesn't the check always go to the homeowner, but it'll have our name on the check?
Typically, yes, unless you request your insurance company to send it to market.
And that's where what you feel most comfortable. That's what I thought. It's what you feel most comfortable. You don't want all your money. A good contractor, what we ask for, I'll give you the typical rundown. We come to your house. You decide you want to use us. We collect your deductible and a signature. Your deductible is telling us that you're in it, that this is a real contract. We take that contract, we turn it into the office, we order your materials and permits. When your materials and permits show up at your house, we show up, verify that all the materials that are supposed to be there are there, because we don't want surprises, we don't want to run short. When we come and verify materials are all there, that's when we collect the 40% down. 40% is covering where we're at to that point. You don't pay us in full until we walk around the house like we're dating, and we look at every aspect of what happened to your house and that you are happy with everything 100%. That's when you pay us in full, is when you are happy 100%. And it moves that smoothly. Now, I know a lot of people have had bad experience where, contractors have damaged things and stuff like that, but we are not those people. Now, do things happen? Always. It's construction. Are we gonna kill a plant or two? We try not to, but you have a lot of roof coming off your house. So I usually like to walk around and ask which one's your favorite plant, because that's the one I'm killing. It always is that one. It's the one they planted with the grandkid that lives in another country or something. And that's the one we murdered. It ain't coming back. So that's why it's become a joke for me to tell people which one is your favorite plant out here. And everyone, y'all got one. I always like to know which one it is, because I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna murder that one. We just might as well kill it now and get it over. But we do our best to protect your landscape. Most of the roof comes off the roof like it's supposed to, all working its way forward, goes into the dumpster. But shingles do fall off. I mean, they're going up to that edge. Yes, sir.
Lien waivers?
Huh?
Lien waivers?
Lien waivers? Yeah, we give a lien waiver once we're done. So that no lien's gonna be put on your home. So that's what I just went through as far as collecting down payments, permits, ordering material, data build, customer completion form, final payment. Data build, what to expect, it's gonna be normal. You're not gonna wanna be home. You're not gonna wanna listen to that banging all day. Unless you like sitting inside the house when it's banging. Here's our 22-point inspection. When we come out and inspect your house, we're inspecting it for storm damage and let you know whether you have an insurance claim or not. When we're done doing that, we give you a copy of it. So you can turn it into your insurance company and say, look, I got a clean bill of health on my insurance company. What is the benefit to you on that? Benefit to you is if something happens in the next month, let's say you have tornadic winds in the area, they can't blame it on a hurricane. Because it's a new event that happened. So you have a clean bill of health from this date moving forward. So they can't blame it because your hurricane deductible is 2% of the value of your home. Average $5,000 to $7,000 depending on how big your house is out here. I know there's some neighborhoods, there's some big ones. So that's gonna protect you from the insurance company saying, oh, that's a hurricane. So that's a good thing for you. Inspecting the roof, wind damage, these are the things we're looking for on the roof, and we use marker with a chalk. Where you see where the shingles have been bent back or debris damage from debris hitting your home. Does everyone see that okay? Is the lights too bright in here? Again, wind damage, when you see there, this is where a shingle, this is a 3-tab shingle. Right here is where that shingle has been lifted by the wind. That's gonna come off in the next heavy wind. Wind is gonna hit it a couple more times and you fold it, a couple times like anything is gonna break off. So when we see that on your roof, Florida law states if you have 25% or more of your roof damaged, that your roof has to be replaced. That's why you see a lot of roofers when you see storms, because insurance companies, it's a lot of work out there to do. Plus, that is gonna turn into a leak eventually. That's more wind damage where you see right there, you're missing what we call a dragon's tooth. That is an architectural shingle where pieces of those shingles are gone. You find them laying in your yard. That's your shingles. You had wind damage or debris, there where the shingle bent more than a couple times and you found it laying in your yard or it's laying up there on the roof where the wind blew it. Again, the dragon's teeth missing, you see all the light spots, that's where tabs of an architectural shingle had been taken off by heavy winds. Lifting the shingle, a lot of times you'll get shear or you get, what's it called, John?
Just straight line wind.
Zippering.
Oh, zippering, excuse
You
me.
get zippering, it's gonna get up under one part and it'll zip right up the roof and you can see it just like a line. Those shingles are all damaged. And the insurance company recognizes this.
When you talk about those tabs from the architectural shingles, does that mean that the architectural shingle is more apt to be damaged by wind?
No, actually the architectural shingle, well, like anything, with age, with age, they're more susceptible to the winds. Now your 3-tabs, your old 3-tabs are the most susceptible. Not even many people put 3-tabs on anymore that I know of. Do they?
Very few.
And the wind tolerance for a architectural is
130.
130. This is Gerald, Mr. Diamond. He
Hello,
is
Diamond.
our supplier.
Yep, I've been taking care of RRCA nationwide for well over a decade. So we came here to help support, and if you guys have any material questions, my name is Gerald Diamond, and let me know what I can do for you.
Yeah, he also brought us, as far as the brochure, letting people know how they get that $250 if they're a veteran. So that was very nice of him to bring out to us. This is basically showing you the effects of hail to a shingle. Because you guys do get hail out here. What happens when it hits? When it hits, it makes a mark on your shingle. You won't see it right away, but it'll make a mark right in here, like it'll look like a little smiley face, crease. Well, that, with time, opens up. Those granules get washed out and hit, like dropping a marble in the sand. And those granules, give it about 6 months, those granules wash out. Well, that under layer is not UV protected. It's your UV protection is your granules that are up on top. So once those are broken away from hail hitting the home, you'll see these little dots on your roof. Those will eventually start wearing away and become a problem. There's hail damage, just showing up close. And a lot of that stuff you can't see from the ground. A lot of people are like, oh, we got all the hail in my house, it's fine. Yeah, maybe not. You don't know. You look up after your house. If you got vents on your house that are damaged like that, I guarantee you have shingle damage to your home. Because if it's gonna beat up a vent like that, what do you think it's done to your shingles? Again, hail damage showing how it turned into a hole. That's been after a little while and the granules washed out. Now you got that hole exposed. Eventually, that underlayment, it will become more of a hole, and that's another place for water and stuff to get into your home and work its way. And now see, like, oh, where's this leak coming from? There's, like what the insurance companies do, they come out and inspect your roof, and that says R equals 6. That means there's 6 hits in a 10 by 10 area. They call it a square. If you have 6 or more hits in a 10 by 10 area, that side of the roof is damaged and needs to be replaced. Your insurance company will come out and do that to every facet on your house of how many hits are in a 10 by 10 area. But once they hit the 25% mark, you're like, you're getting a new roof. Yeah, that's just nothing but next to it. Granule loss from debris. That was actually a house out here. That was a tree rubbing up against the house. You know, some of you guys got them trees that are real close. If it's touching your shingles, that's what it's doing to your shingles. Nail pop. A lot of people come out and say you have hail damage on your house. They don't know what they're talking about. There's nail pops where nails are working their way up and won't cause something like that to happen on your shingle. Somebody that doesn't know what they're talking about, look at that and say, oh, that's a hail hit. That is not. You touch it, you feel the nails trying to pop up. But it happens on homes. A lot of times when we inspect, I have a caulk gun in my car all the time. If I come out to your house and I see you got 3 nail pops and 1 shingle loose, I'll grab the caulk gun and put a couple dabs down there and say, hey, have a good day. You're like, how much do I owe you for that? Don't worry about it. You know, that's just so it doesn't get any worse for you. I charge somebody to put a couple dabs of caulk, that's great. Squirrels. This is John being funny. John put this PowerPoint together because I am electronically stunted. I am not capable of these things. The squirrels will eat the top of your lead boots. This is one of the large lead boots. It's a 4-inch one. What this happens, you have your PVC stick through the roof. This goes over it and it's bent in over that pipe so no water gets down into your home. When that furry little sinker gets on your roof, they like to eat the top part. And what happens is what happens in Florida? Monsoons come straight down from the sky. What do you think's happening right there? Water's getting into your home. That is going to potentially and eventually turn into a problem for you. There are a couple ways to protect yourself from that. That's this guy right here. Some guy saw a problem. Now this is not rocket science here. I wish I was the guy that thought of this thing. This goes over that lead boot, tightens to it, squirrels don't chew on it. Problem fixed. So if you have, those are
We've got some different options, sizes, colors.
25 to 50 bucks a piece, depending on the size of the pipe. You're right in there. Yeah, average house has 3 to 4 pipes up there. For an extra $100, would you want to protect your house from that little furry guy? I would. And it's cheap enough. It's not going to, set you back $100. And installing it is literally 2 screws that just tighten right to the side of the boot. Simple.
Well, and it's not just rodents that like the lead, the rodents like to eat because it tastes sweet to them. So there's a lot of damage in Florida on the lead pipes, but also you notice that there's a lid on top of that stack, and it keeps other
Debris.
reptile, debris, stuff like snakes, different things from going down into those stacks.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the snakes out here.
Yeah, so, and it's, by all means, it's not a scare tactic, it's just reality on how things can get to your house. But rodents, rats, squirrels, anything that can get on your roof, they love the taste of lead for some odd reason. So,
Yeah.
there you go, yeah.
Well, and that's a good way to protect yourself. For you guys that are still going up the ladder, you don't need us to do it. They sell them at the hardware stores. After we go, we bring everything to your table. We bring the pictures, everything. Now it's time to talk shop. So we find damage to your roof. We show you the pictures of damage to your goosenecks, your pipes, and we give you our professional opinion of whether you have an insurance claim or if your roof is just shot. So you obviously called us there for a reason, so you know your roof is either aged or you just don't know, you just bought the place. And a lot of people just buy their house and we just bought it, we want to know the roof's in good shape. We have no problem coming out and doing it. Why? Because it's a potential sale for us. I mean, we're selling. That's what we live for. We don't mind going up a ladder if we can sell your roof.
And if we tell you now and you need a new roof in a couple of years, we're the guys that you're going to call. If we're going to be honest, we're shooting straight with you.
Contacting the insurance company, we walk you through it. We've done it so many times we can do it blindfolded as far as we'll sit there at the table with you. Then you call your insurance, tell me you want to file a claim. We will be more than happy to come out and meet your adjuster. I'm also a licensed Florida adjuster. A lot of us in the company are. Why? Because we speak the same language they do. We know what's supposed to be on it. We're trained. So I've been on probably a couple thousand roofs as far as adjusting here in Florida. We use the same programs they do. There's a program they use called Xactimate. Xactimate is a third-party organization that sets the price. They're the price setter. So the insurance companies don't push them. We can't push them. Every quarter, the prices change, fluctuate, depending on what the market bears.
By meaning the market bears, does that mean if you've had hurricanes within that quarter?
Yeah, well-
Or if you had a clear quarter and everything went fine, then they may not up?
Correct.
The prices?
That's good. It's good how you put that with the hurricane. Hurricane came and hit. That's no secret. And that's like literally plywood and shingles disappeared in Florida, right?
Right. Well, here's something to recognize. Whether you have a hurricane or not, everything that goes on a roof is a commodity. So it's asphalt based, it's wood ventures. I mean, they change daily. If you guys look at stock prices stuff. So in the business of supplying materials, even to my highest volume contractors, I mean, I can only offer price protection for so long before I can't absorb those increases any longer. So wood, asphalt, when you see your gas tank, money to fill your vehicles with go up, that means asphalt on shingles is also gonna go up. So it's something that's, some of it's speculatory, just like the market, but a lot of it has to do with whatever's going on around the rest of the country. Just because Florida hasn't had a hurricane doesn't mean that Texas or the Midwest can have a whole swath of massive hailstorms that cause those fluctuation prices to increase. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Diamond. He says it so eloquently that I just stuttered on it. This is what's called an Eagle View. One of the first things we know, how we know your measurements are correct, we order an Eagle View on your house. It's a satellite imagery of your home. This is the top view of it. Tells us how many squares it is, where the valleys are, ridges. It gives us everything we need to be able to properly order the materials for your home. Or if you are paying for that roof cash, we're able to tell you exactly by pulling that Eagle View what we're going to charge. So those of you that are shopping and kicking tires. But do remember, anybody that is extremely cheaper than somebody else, what are you giving up? You're giving up something. You're giving up either quality of labor, quality of material, or both. There's something they're not doing because we're priced pretty competitively. And anybody that comes in, we get people $3,000, $4,000 cheaper than us. Impossible. They are definitely not doing something that we do. And then you have the agreement and notice of commencement. Yeah, commencement is just what you sign so we can file for a permit.
It's filed through the county.
What's that?
Filed through the county. It
Filed
goes
through
to
the county.
courthouse and it shows that there's been improvements to your property.
Maria handles all that. We get it all together and we give it to her. Go figure, right? Find every successful man, there's a woman there somewhere. Sorry guys, but it's just the truth. Roof loading the materials, we do that for multiple reasons. One of the things is so we don't kill the guys. And going up and down that ladder in the Florida heat, you get in that July weather around here, you'll kill them. So they roof load them, they spread it out so that way they're not putting all that weight in one area. And that's why you'll see them spread or you'll see them on multiple parts of your roof. They're doing that because they're just spreading the weight out. They build, protecting the landscaping. We put tarps down everywhere we can to protect. Now here in Florida, one thing I've learned, you can't keep those bushes covered too long because you'll cut the top of them, like you're steaming asparagus. Learned that the hard way. But we protect it the best we can. There are some branches that might get broke. There's some plants that might get trampled. There's a lot happening around your house, and we go above and beyond to make sure that we don't. But every now and then there's a victim. This one we tear off decking, what we're looking for. See all that rot down in the bottom of the valley? Those people didn't even know that existed. That was water getting down inside their eaves, which is rotting their eaves away and everything else. So we replaced that plywood. Here's showing complete tear down. These are pictures like you would see if this was your house. We would come down and say, except for the guys doing the work. We turn around and show you the picture showing, here's the breakdown. Here's where it's all torn off. We inspected the decking. Here's showing where the decking's been removed in the middle of the roof that we had to replace plywood because there's water damage there and the wood was spongy. And that then transfers, like you guys got the lanais out here, and you'll have a flat roof. It's transferring from one roof to another. We take pictures of everything to show you that everything was done the way it was supposed to be done.
So if you have a damage like that, and of course you don't know it until you rip off the roof, then you have to come down and renegotiate additional.
We will replace
plywoods.
up to 2 sheets of plywood for free. Anything over that is $50 a sheet. We charge you what it cost us to remove it, dispose it, and pay for the material and labor. So it's $50 a sheet over 2 sheets. Most of the houses, we don't find more than 2 sheets. Every once in a blue moon, but very rarely.
Is that supplemented through their insurance companies if they have additional?
No, insurance companies, that's underneath the shingle, they're.
What's the code in Lake County and Sumter County for how many shingle roofs you can have on a house?
Oh, how many layers?
Yes.
I don't know.
Typically
I
it's
think
2.
We don't shingle over.
Yeah.
We don't put a second layer on, just won't do it.
Why is that?
Because you're taking you're putting a lot more weight on your home. Now you're nailing a brand new roof over. You don't know what's under there. You don't know if you got that happening at rock. We don't even know if you have that happening down in the corner. So you might save a little bit of money, but you might be covering up some problems, you don't even know where they're at.
Well, and here's another common sense way to look at a roof. The less fasteners, the less holes you have to put in a brand new roof, the better you are. If you're gonna put over another layer, you're putting more holes on top of layers where you might have already had bruises from hail or nail pops that are already going up, so now you have additional fasteners in that already deteriorating roof. With the new codes, I think most insurance companies offer some type of a discount if you do a secondary water barrier. So anybody from up north, typically we call that ice and water shield. Down here in Florida, I'm originally from the Midwest, in Florida, they ice and water shield the whole entire roof. Why? Because it eliminates the scope of damage when a storm comes through, because it's a secondary water barrier, so it's basically a Band-Aid for your whole roof. Now, with that material that we supply, there's a variety of them that you have out there. You can actually, it seals around the fasteners that go into your roof. So there's a variety of them. There's Polyglass IRXE, there's Owens Corning Weather Mat, there's Weatherlock G, there's Rhino. I mean, it goes on and on and on. Polyglass is one of the first that started with that product line. So.
Does that put white and blue plastic stuff that they put over the tar paper?
No, ma'am. No. This is basically, it's almost like a peel and stick felt that goes directly to the wood deck.
That's what's right here on this first layer. There's a peel loop stick. And then from there, felt will go up from there. And there's a picture of it here. That's a sample of the ice and water right there in the can.
Now, are all the roofs that you do have this?
Yes, ma'am. We put ice and water in the valleys and in your trouble spots.
Oh,
We don't put the entire roof unless code says it. And out here,
Or if the homeowner requests it and they wanna pay for the upgrade, then absolutely.
Is that an upgrade over from the foundation?
Yes.
oh yeah, we don't even use tar paper. We use synthetic. But this is an upgrade over the synthetic. This, if you wanted this on your whole roof, over that synthetic felt, we'd have to charge you for it, because what is that, a roll?
So you're looking
Not
at
cheap.
$45 a roll, and it's a 2-square roll, so that, and with about like a 1.8 square coverage because it has a salvation lap on it. So yeah, I mean, it's not cheap, but talk to your insurance company, or better yet, have your RRCA professional talk to your insurance company for you, and you should be able to receive some type of discount with them knowing that you have that secondary water barrier installed on your roof. Because it mitigates the damages to be lessened if there is a storm.
What's this other stuff that's like over the tar paper or whatever you use?
Synthetic felt.
Then what's this other thing, blue and white looking?
That's different brands of synthetic felt. It depends on the roofer and what product they're using. Like up here I have an example of, Rhino. Rhino has the white lettering on black. Some of them are white on blue. Here's the one for you.
So that you only use that one layer?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it's just one layer, you don't need multiple layers unless you have a very flat roof, and then I would tell you to go with the ice and water shield, not through.
And that's what you'll see here, like just showing the 6 inches again. We show you pictures of your roof, showing it's nailed properly. That's a drip edge, it's supposed to be every 4 inches. That is an example of one of our guys going really crazy with that. That drip edge is definitely not coming off that house. Here's where, you got an example of 3. You got a starter strip there that we use. A lot of roofers don't use starter strips. That starter strips get that first layer of shingles to stick. A lot of them like to use a 3-tab shingle because it's cheaper. And they'll get a old 3-tab that they're flipping. That's why I said, when you're paying for a roof, what are you getting? How's that guy coming in? Thousands of dollars cheaper. 9 out of 10, he's using stuff up there that's left over from something else. He's cutting somewhere, he's cutting corners. We do this to every house exactly the same way with your new materials, not flipping old shingles to the starter strip because we don't want to spend the money. That's it. Look, it's like a 6-inch shingle there. Oh, John, his button's over here.
There you go. Keep going.
That's no extra cost for that.
There you go. Back up.
See that? Right there. What you see here, you see your synthetic felt. The felt's even made where it's got little dots where you're supposed to put a nail. But here you got your starter. And then you'll see right there where the starter ends, and there's drip edge there. We put mastic over those nails. You know where I showed you all those nails on the drip edge? We have to put a mastic, it's like a tar, that goes over that. We have to do that. That stops any of the condensation. What happens on a roof, your shingle, you get the hot and colds, will sweat underneath. That water then hits that underlayment and runs underneath your shingle, and that's why they call it a drip edge, because you'll hear your gutters in the summer tinkling, making weird noise, and you're like, what is that? Well, that's everything doing what it's supposed to. That's where the ice and water is in the valley, what she was just showing you here. This is laid in all the valleys and troubled areas. Like where you come up against a wall. Some of you guys got tricky houses where it comes down, hits a wall, and it comes around to your front door. We ice and water that whole corner because we know it's a problem area. And that's this.
And we replaced the old valley metal with this.
Yeah, the valley metal, that valley metal does not work out here. When you use metal, that's like having your shingle sit on a frying pan. That heats up underneath there, and we've seen it on more roofs out here where the shingle, you can see it like a stripe right across the roof. That shingle's cooking from that metal being underneath. Here's showing you again, see that's pearl ply. There's two different types of synthetic felt combined together. And then going down the valley, we overlay it over the valley, then the shingles go over that. Here's what we do around our pipes. And why we started doing this out here is because they're prone to leak. You guys have torrential downpours, so we triple layer. We put the rhino liner, the ice and water, you put an X in it, you push it over the pipe, you put the mastic around that, then the lead boots going on that, and then the shingles are going over that. Water's not getting through there, I guarantee you. Yes, sir?
You do anything special for the solar fans?
We do it for all of them. Anything, any hole that comes through the roof, we do like this. You're skylights, multiple layers of protection, because we don't want to come back. We don't want your roof to leak. It costs us money. Water gets into your house, there goes the profit of that job. Gone. We just work for free. So trust me, we do not want your roof to leak. So if we spend an extra $50 on your roof, just to make sure everything's sealed in nice and tight, I call this overkill, but I like it. They get mad at me when I make them do it, but I'm like, I don't care, do it. Because we don't want to have to come back. We don't want them to have a leak. A lot of your contractors will not go this crazy. That's the same thing as far as your goosenecks, showing how we mask it around them, and then you get your next layer, and your shingles going around it. Again, just an overkill, but here is a lot of what's happening in the villages. Your vents are not connected to anything, and the roofer gets blamed for it. One of the first things we'll do, come out to your house, we'd like to take a peek at your attic before we do anything. Because a lot of times, that vent is not hooked to your roof. And it's cost us coming back and sending somebody to have to go up in the attic and put a vent in where there wasn't one, or they say there was one, but this is one going up where they just pointed it at the ridge vent. Crazy. So we want to make sure that your vents are connected. That's another one that's just hanging from the rafters up in the attic. That is what's called an off-ridge vent. It's a 4-foot long vent. I love them. I love them more than a ridge vent. We like to upgrade you to that and take your ridge vents away from you, because ridge vents, water is more apt to get in versus putting an off-ridge vent. See that metal bar that's on there in front of it? Right here in front of it, that's going to stop. Your winds are pushing on your house. That's going to stop a lot of that from going up under and getting in that vent. Like your ridge vents, they don't have any stop. It's just a ridge vent. So I like them a lot more than I like ridge vents.
Is it that color and looks like that?
They're brown, black, and white. And you can have your ridge vent. I mean, if you don't want us to take it out, if you want a ridge vent back in your house, that's no problem. But I've just noticed as an adjuster, a lot of homes that I went into for Hurricane Irma in Hollywood had a stripe through your house. Stripe about that big wide, through the whole house, following that ridge vent. Because you know how it just sat there and turned on Hollywood, Irma? Well, it just pushed that rain up into that vent.
Is that an upgrade?
It's an upgrade that we do for free because it's kind of one washes out the other. Here it's showing the layers as far as how your shingles, your starter strip, it's showing just that all your steps is correct. A lot of times what your counties out here, they like us to do that to where they can come out and see everything's being done correctly. So we can do up to 25 or 45% of the roof, and then we have to stop and wait for the inspector because he wants to see all those steps.
That was Marion County because of the mid-inspection that they do. They need to see the dry end.
Yeah. But again, we take pictures, and what we do, what I've always done, I pop that thing out of my camera. If you have a computer, you can plug just your little memory card in. Here, load them on your computer so you have them. So that way, you know you got what you paid for. The solar tubes, this is what I like to call bow tying. You're going around it where you're not looking at the bottom part of the metal hanging out. It's just not better looking. A lot of people stop. I'm sure if you go home, you'll see this. You see the bottom part of this. You know, it's shingled over up here, and you see the bottom part of this. I think it's kind of ugly. But it's just one of those small things that we have our guys do. It just looks good. Now, solar tubes are a pain. I hate them. I can't explain, I can't say enough how much I hate solar tubes. Again, the squirrel, reminding people about defending themselves against the squirrel. That one, this is a picture we had to pull one installed. I do not like where you see the bottom of that. It's ugly. It looks like something's missing, don't it? Customer completion form. That's my favorite part. I want to see how sharp your eyes are, because I am pretty picky. I point out stuff that none of my customers have ever caught, but I know what I'm looking for. But I usually like to stay quiet and see where people are focusing, and then if they walk past it, I say, come on, hang on, come back. And I'll point it out and make our guys come back and fix it. One of the biggest things you see on homes is they don't cut your metal right. I don't think we have pictures of that here, do we, John?
No, I didn't put those in.
Let's see.
One more. Keep going back.
Huh?
There shouldn't be any more pictures in there
Here's
now.
just going describing everything we got. Mr. Diamond's here. He was speaking. And then that goes back to who we are. Everything that we put in your folders again to help you make an informed decision. If you want your roof inspected, there's a sheet inside your folder, looks like this. If you can tear off the bottom, just put your name, phone number, address, and give it to Maria. Maria will delegate it from there. Anytime with us, if you have a problem, let Maria know. Maria's a pit bull. She ain't nice about it.
I heard that there was 42-inch wide shingles, not the standard 36.
42-inch wide shingles.
They do make a metric. There are some manufacturers that make a metric shingle. There's, I believe one of them's called IKO. It's a manufacturer. It's a Canadian manufacturer. They also have plants in the U.S., but they do make a metric shingle. So you can either have the standard American size or the metric size. Really doesn't matter in the installation or the quality or the warranty that you get. It's just a matter of how many pieces come per square. So as I mentioned earlier, a square is a 10 by 10 area. On a metric shingle, you're going to have less pieces per square versus a standard shingle. So that could range anywhere from, off the top of my head, I think it's 21 pieces versus 26 pieces maybe. So, but it's no preference on if it's better or worse.
I've never seen one, so you had me off guard on that one.
The top of that sheet.
Wood is on the roof.
Mm-hmm.
You put this on,
Yep,
and then the shingle goes right on top.
correct,
Nothing else.
correct.
All these other companies I see, they're putting something like this on there. Then they're putting this whole great big shield. It's like sometimes they're white, sometimes they're blue.
It's a different color of that.
Is it possible that they're putting a tarp on to wait for a mid-inspection? or something like that?
No, they put the shingles in, I've watched.
They put the shingles over the top of that?
Shingles right on top
It's,
of that.
it's a different color of that. They come in many colors.
They put the black stuff on first,
Well,
then
here's,
they put this other top.
here's what I have seen done, and there's a variety of contractors that may do this. They'll put down a felt, which is a 15 or a 30-pound felt first, and then they'll put a synthetic 10 square roll product on top of that. Some schools of thought are that the felt offers a vapor barrier versus putting anything directly on top of the deck. You know, it can prove to offer a vapor barrier, but it's just another way to make sure that you have multiple layers on your roof and versus a peel and stick.
I've never seen it.
So, but that, I do understand what you're saying, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're putting down a tar paper first, then they're putting a synthetic over the top of it, and they're using the tar paper as a vapor barrier.
But you're not doing that.
We can if you want it.
Yeah.
I don't see the see the benefit, but if that's something that makes you feel warm and fuzzy, we'll do anything you want. We're contractors. It all comes down to money.
Yeah, anything, in today's world, it's really hard to be a contractor or supplier or anything else. Everybody nowadays, you guys can look on the internet, you can pick your products, you can pick your people, you've got your Angie's list, you've got everything that, you know, we've got Better Business Bureaus, which you need to do, because nobody's gonna be a better advocate for yourself than yourselves. So if you research and you find a better way to do a roof, you can have your roof done any way you want. It's no different than custom ordering one of your cars. You know, if you want leathers, if you want ventilated seats, this company will definitely do it. So that's not a problem. All it is money.
Like Maria was
Just make
saying.
more.
What kind of shingles do you use?
I supply every shingle manufacturer that is made and has Florida product approval code in my yard.
What's the difference between your shingle, which shares certain things in Portland or GAF? Is there a difference in shingle or, you know?
The difference would be on what the company is and how they're, like with RRCA, for instance, they're certified in every brand of shingles that I know that's out there to the highest grade of certifications. So you have some people, just like, you know, I'm a Ford guy, some people might be Chevy people. So it's not much different than being a Ford or Chevy person when it regards to shingles. They're all made in the state-of-the-art factories. They're not gonna make an inferior shingle. You're gonna see, if you Google this, I get this all the time. You're gonna see, oh my goodness, IKO or GAF or Certainty. Somebody had a class action lawsuit years and years ago. Everybody and their mother has had a class action lawsuit against themselves because that's just how attorneys make money. But there's honestly, I mean, the integrity of every one of these shingle brands nowadays, they're made in high-tech factories. I take factory tours all the time. I fly not just in the United States, but all through Canada, all over the world to look at these manufacturing places. Nobody's producing an inferior product. Do mistakes happen, and you might get a bad batch of something, just like you would with a recall on a car? Absolutely. But, you know, it just kind of all depends on what the color variations are. A lot of people, ladies of the home, that's what you really like to, you know, figure out. If this brand doesn't offer the shading that you like, or the color match that you want, it'll go with your bushes and your garage door and everything else. You may not want Certainty. You may want Owens Corning. So but for almost every brand of shingle out there, they almost make identical colors. They're almost called the same exact thing. Weatherwood and Certainty could be a Weatherwood in GAF or a Weatherwood in Tamco. So there's not a right or wrong answer to that. They're all very similar, much like automobiles.
Do you carry all those samples when you come to deliver stuff?
No.
We don't carry all of them with us. If you're looking for a specific brand, let us know, and we definitely will bring them out to you.
If you carry all those samples,
We would have our trucks full of just samples.
Yeah. I mean, I drive an F-350 diesel with an 8-foot bed, so I don't even carry all the samples, and I'm the guy, I supply all the stuff. But if you guys are, after you leave this and you set up an appointment with one of your guys, and you knew for a fact that your father loved Owens Corning because he loved the Pink Panther and the insulation, and that they invented the first, you know, aircraft fiberglass, whatever, man, tell him, bring out Owens Corning. You know, for one of the things we wanted to talk about with Certainty does, since we're in the VFW Hall, and thank everyone for their service, in your folder, there is a $250 Cabela's gift card for veterans. that's offered in this. And it's something that Certainty offers, for veterans.
And that's why we led with the certainty here.
Yep, that's one of the reasons we put Certainty in. This is the venue for it. This is an appreciation that Certainty does nationwide, and it's something that RRCA and the Beacon Company recognizes. We like to promote anything with
And
service.
they're all competitively priced.
Certainty,
Absolutely.
landmark shingle, the
Yep.
information that's in your folder. That's why I led with Certainty, is because they're the company that's given a $250 gift card to the veterans, thanking them for the service. So what better place than the American Legion, and plus me being part of the Sons of American Legion, that they're recognizing that and giving something back. So that's why I led with this product. Yes, ma'am.
When you're choosing the color,
Yeah.
is it different to choose a dark color or a light color as far as efficiency for reflection of the sun?
Yes. And even in that book, landmark book, you'll see the ones that have the Energy Star mark on it. Those are your lighter roofs, your silver,
Birch?
Silver lining,
silver line, silver birch, the white. Those lighter colors are going to perform better as far as energy efficiency. Yes, sir.
What is the scoop with the homeowners insurance companies, and, requiring that you have a, new roof if it's over the 15 years?
Did you get one of those letters?
No, I didn't, but I've heard about it.
I've seen a couple letters here in the villages that were given to people stating that if their roof was over 17 years old, if they didn't replace the roof, they weren't gonna insure the roof. And then I got a phone call saying, hey, what do I do about this? I said, well, it sounds like your insurance company is kind of strong arming you and putting in a roof, because there has been a lot of roofs done here in the villages in the last year and a half. And they're hemorrhaging a lot of money. Insurance company, like any company, when all of a sudden there's a hole in the book, they wanna know why, what's going on. The biggest part is I tell people to protect themselves from fraudulent contractors is, do your homework, make sure you know who you're talking to, make sure you can trust them, make sure it's a solid company. The guys that are coming on your property, I wouldn't let somebody on my roof unless I was watching them all the time, just cause I wanna see what he's doing. Some people don't have that ability, to even walk around their house. That's when they should have a son, a daughter, a neighbor say, hey, can you come over? This guy's gonna inspect my roof, and I just wanna make sure he doesn't damage it. Because there are some people out there that are questionable as far as their ethics, and will damage roofs to get them bought.
Speaking of questionable ethics, and we had somebody that came out from Orlando Thursday night, and it was like a timeshare sale. He wanted to give his presentation before he even looked at the roof, and I suggested strongly that he go look at the roof first.
Yeah.
Before we can listen to his presentation.
There are some people out there that don't even want to climb on a ladder to go up on your roof to look at it.
He eventually did. So anyway, it was Aspen. I don't know if anybody's had the experience, but we're in a certain village that's got 20-year-old roofs.
Right.
And
Those are my favorite neighborhoods.
we have two bedroom, 2 bath, 2-car garage, and we have 3-bedroom, 2-car. It's 50-50, so virtually that coverage is gonna be the same for 50% of it. We got a quote for $25,000.
Wow.
Our neighbors, we have replaced roofs in the last couple of weeks and months, we're averaging $7,000 to $9,000, because my wife talks with them.
Wow.
So then, all of a sudden, we got an immediate 10% discount to $22,500, and then I explained that we had other quotes that were less than 10,000.
Then you got friends and family
Yeah.
on top of that.
And then immediately it came down to 12,000.
Get out.
From
I don't
25,000.
want to get out.
And then, we're getting the end of the month discount because this
They
was
charge you for coming out from
February
Orlando too.
28th.
That's why they do that. They charge you more money.
Well, that's what I said, guys, be careful. We want your business, and we'll fight to get it. But we are honest. We do take pictures of everything to protect you and us. All the pictures you see are here. We're all of roofs. Thanks for bringing that picture up, by the way. Yeah, that's my buddy John over there. House we did, lady dog had a bunch of little puppies. What are those,
English setters.
no,
There's English something.
yeah, whatever, cute little puppies. Yes, sir.
We do roof certification for life insurance.
Oh, yeah, what about wind mitigation?
Yeah, that's what
Now the wind mitigation, that's a special company, that's a special process, but these pictures is what helps you with that. When we take that picture up, John. All those pictures will help you with that wind mitigation discount with the insurance companies. Because you have pictures showing that the deck's been 6 nailed, you have pictures showing that the drip edge has been nailed every 4 inches, all that's there. The only thing we don't take pictures of is you got hurricane straps up in your attic. That's the only thing we don't take pictures of. And there's a special,
Put them in there?
we do not do hurricane straps.
No, that's
So-
done through someone else.
Yeah. So, but in the discount is well worth
We refer them to anybody?
well worth going through the steps. Because I had a lot of clients that asked me for the pictures, so they can give them to the certifying guy, so they can get the insurance discount. So it's definitely worth getting, I mean, anytime you can save a buck's a buck. And from what I hear, the discounts are pretty good with the insurance companies.
When wind mitigation too, here in the state of Florida, you have to be certified as a wind mitigation inspector. It's almost like a home inspector that comes out to do inspections on your home. They're not just looking at your roof, they're looking at your doors, your windows, and all kinds of things. So it wouldn't be something that a roofing company could do for you.
Okay, so if we just purchased our house less than a year ago, we
Right.
had a home inspection, we had the wind mitigation, we
Okay.
got the discount from our insurance company. Now, if we put a new roof on, do I have to have another wind mitigation done? Wouldn't they, the
I
same
don't think
strips
so.
be
I
the
think
same?
no, I don't believe so. I think you only have to have a wind mitigation done every couple of years. It's not something that's usually.
Probably gonna be up
You
to
don't
the
have
insurance
pictures
company.
showing every
as
single
far as
piece.
getting
The
the
insurance
discount.
companies know that when we provide you with that
It's 5 to
documentation.
6 down per sheet.
Okay, but
They'll-
if
they'll
we're
go
just
back there.
replacing the roof, not because we have storm damage, I don't even have to go through the insurance.
No, but you
I'm
can
just
still
letting them
notify
know
them.
we have a new
That's what you
roof
see.
and
Absolutely.
to keep our policy
Yep.
the same
Absolutely.
and not increase us.
Absolutely.
Okay.
No, I saw some of the staples gone on my roof. What's your take on staples over there, Mr. Diamond?
Staples don't work in Florida. Staples actually don't work anywhere. So, like I said, I'm originally from the Midwest, but you know, if you got somebody plugging along with the staple has 2 legs, and if they're plugging along at an angle, either way, if it's on a pitch or not, the likelihood of both those legs going in at the same time is nil to none.
That's
So,
the guns you think?
the nail guns in Florida. Every shingle, no matter how high the wind rating is on a shingle, no matter what in the state of Florida, has to be Miami-Dade under the code of 6 nails.
You guys, you put nails in every shingle?
Absolutely.
You
No,
don't do-
those are for plastic caps. But that's for your underlayment if you use a synthetic. But you'll hear the tick, 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 tick.
Yeah.
Those are the pneumatic nails that go into the shingle. So you'll hear at least 6 nails going in per shingle as that roofer's laying that
And
down.
one of the questions I get quite a bit is, can you use a shorter nail? No. The length of the nails is dictated by the shingle manufacturers and by the code for the city and county that you're in.
Correct.
So we don't have any decision over how long the nails are that are going in your roof. That's dictated to us through the government.
On the pipe?
This is the ice and water. No, this is, now if you want us to put this on our whole roof, if we lay synthetic felt, like that thing you see going around, a little flyer with the synthetic felt in it,
Sorry.
if you want this over your entire roof, that is gonna cost you extra. Stuff's not cheap. Like he said, you get discounts for it from your insurance company because you have a second layer protecting you. Is it worth it? Best talk to your insurance company to find out what the discount is.
Yeah. It's a tremendous peace of mind if you guys are going to be in a home for a long time. I come from Sarasota. I live on the coast. There's you won't have it up here as much. You're a lot more inland. But in certain areas, there's different wind ratings and different code methods of installation that you have that are required by the county and by your insurance company. So
Like I heard-
like where I'm at in Sarasota County, if you're within X miles from the Gulf of Mexico and you're in that high wind zone, you must have your entire roof covered with the ice and water shield.
So what do you use if you don't use?
Synthetic. That's that synthetic called.
It's
They're
a-
rolling around out there somewhere. One's right behind you, next to
Those,
that lady.
those rules will not apply to a lot of, you know, if we're just talking about this type of area, I mean, you guys are miles and miles from golf, so, you know, if you're looking for a peace of mind, and you've got the money to spend, it's a great upgrade.
Yeah, oh yeah. Tar paper turns into cornflakes after it's cooking on your roof for a while. When you see them taking off your roof, you'll see little flakes of it everywhere. Hate that stuff, you know, it's like picking it up, it's everywhere. That's your synthetic felt. They come in different colors, you'll see all kinds of different colors on roofs. Basically all the same stuff, like your Tyvek house wrap, the same company makes them, don't it?
Yep.
Your cap nails. Cap nails looks like a little frisbee stuck to a nail. When that goes through, you're not gonna pull that through. You are not. You're more than welcome to try. That's the kind of nails that go on. That's the kind of nails that are required to go on. That's why, you know what happens with tar paper with cap nail? Away it goes. This is your second layer of defense if your shingles start coming off your roof. You better hope it's staying. And if it's not put on correctly, it's not. That's why,
Does a nail gun shoot those down?
they do have nail guns that make these, where they can put them on with a nail gun or by hand. I've seen it done either way, they're both good. These things are cheap, so trust me, you'll see your roof will be dotted like it's snowing. They put so many of these in
Will they
there.
have whole, there's just any of those
Spots.
circles on them?
No.
No.
But the picture did.
Circles, they have to nail, every one of those circles on your roof should have a cap nail in it.
Yeah, a
Like,
dot.
it looks like a little, yeah, it's two dots, they got one right there, yep, and every one of those circles all over your roof has to have one of these in it.
I don't know if you guys see what I was explaining back there.
Yep,
Where you keep
right over
pull
top
it
of it.
through.
What makes, I see roofs in Florida down here, there's no trees.
That's better than the tar paper.
Oh,
Tar paper is
Some
like
shingles
these.
are less susceptible.
Yeah, work back in the day, but no. We don't do a lot of things we used to do
If
back
I
in
could
the day.
figure it out,
Like
I
now
would
we
not be
keep
sitting
these butter.
here talking to any of you guys, so I love you like brothers and sisters, but it's algae. We live in a hot house, it's moisture. So if you're in a shaded area that doesn't get a whole lot of sun, the UV rays, a lot of times burn off
They
the
did
algae.
send you one saying.
If you have any shade amount on your house at all,
Oh, nice.
it happens. Just about every manufacturer of shingles has a copper
On a sheet of paper,
granulated
a coat where you put your
on
name.
a certain percentage of the granules that
It
go
all
on the
goes
roof.
through
If
Maria.
it's copper coated granule,
Maria
then
will
it
put
will
around
help
that sign, me, John,
the algae amount that's on it.
red over there,
Because
black, all
you're
black.
dealing with a,
Not,
dealing
no
with a
offense.
fibrous-
Had to think about that for a minute. Give myself in trouble, he beat me up. Man's got the hands the size of bear paws.
So with,
And then there's Mr. Matthews standing next to him.
so with the shingles, you're dealing with natural product. So you're dealing with fiberglass mat, basically, it's porous, algae spores get in there, they grow. A lot of the times you'll see other stuff, you know, close to the airport areas, it's jet fuel. I mean, it's just jet fuel vapors, I mean, and it doesn't matter what color your house is, you'll see that it's, you know, that it's stained. Something that you'll notice on a lot of houses, right below a lead pipe or a vent, it'll be clean. It'll look like a brand new shingle right there. That's because of the zinc that's mixed in with those, with the products to make the boots and the vents. It has zinc in it, and the zinc keeps your roof clean right there where the water brushes it off. Now, way back in the day, myself, you know, we used to sell what they're called zinc strips. And you could put zinc strips underneath the tabs of those shingles and tab them in. That way, when it rained, you'd have zinc strips going all across your roof, and they keep your roof in with a cleaner appearance. That's before they started copper coating the granules.
But once you get that, is there anything you do for it?
There-
It looks ugly on some houses. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hideous. So they do make an algae side. With the algae side, what I recommend, and we sell the algae side to contractors, and if they sell you a maintenance program, you guys can always sign up for a maintenance program to get that done. But basically, it's you put it on with a bug sprayer. You don't use a high pressure power washer because it will blow off the granules. The granules are only on that asphalt shingles to prevent it from deteriorating from the UV rays. So go back to you put the algicide, hire somebody, I don't recommend anybody do this on their own, and you put it on the bug sprayer, you spray it off, and then you just let our torrential rains wash it off, and that will help reduce it for you.
John, what's been your experiences, where's Bill? When you're dealing with a bill,
restrict, I mean, you gotta get permission architecturally, color and roof and all this stuff.
Your villas out here, they're just going with the same color. We've done some of the villas.
You can't put metal on the sign.
No, no. We do. Using metal, stone coated steel. I mean,
Flat
like,
roof.
we're
Mod
rough.
bit.
This is what we do. What?
TPO, tile, TPO.
Tile, TPO, we do it all.
Modified.
We are salespeople. We want your business, and, we're in the roofing business, so to only be able to do one trick, be a one-trick pony would really kind of put us in a very select market. So, yeah, we install them all.
And we-
What about these vinyl type roofs that look like tile?
Like the stone coated steel?
No.
Vinyl?
Tile, but they're actually vinyl.
Does it look like it's stamped? Like
No,
it's,
it's raised, just like the vinyl or the, you know, the tile roofs, only it's vinyl.
Stone coated steel is what I'm thinking of.
well,
There's some PVC roofs.
they also make a PVC, it's basically, which, none of the PVC roofs that I know of, Van de Hey Raleigh makes one, but basically it's milk cartons. So it's plastic that they mold something to look into like a slate or a tile or a shake. But a lot of those for the Florida atmosphere, they just don't hold up to the UV rays. You know, up north, some of them are great, you know, but down here that's just leaving, you know, like a milk jug sitting on the roof. So not many of those products have Florida product approval.
Since you got their attention, do you want to tell them about your warranty? We do a 5-year on our labor, because if it had leaked in 5 years, it's fine. A lot of people only cover a year, cover 2, we cover 5.
So 5-year on a steep slope.